Hello, everyone. My mute was off. You'd think after 18 months I would remember to take off the mute button. So, hello, good afternoon. My name is Marisela Morales, CAUSE Executive Director, and I'm very happy to come together with you for CAUSE's annual Raising Justice event. This year, it's particularly special because we're celebrating CAUSE's 20th anniversary, building community power for social, economic, and environmental justice. Thank you for participating today and supporting CAUSE. We begin today by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the unceded territory of the Chumash peoples. They stewarded this land for millennia, and we thank the Chumash peoples for their strength and resilience in protecting this land, and we aspire to uphold our responsibilities according to their example. So now, today, you'll be hearing from and seeing images of the many, but really just a few of the thousands of diverse people that have made the first 20 years of CAUSE amazing and wonderful. To begin with, CAUSE has been blessed by wonderful board presidents, starting with our founding board president and now first Latina County Board of Supervisor, Carmen Ramirez. And today it's my pleasure to introduce you to our current CAUSE board president, Jeremy Meyer. Jeremy?
Good afternoon, fellow CAUSE leaders and supporters. I'm Jeremy Meyer, and I am proud to serve as president of CAUSE's board of directors. Just as CAUSE has served at the forefront of economic, environmental, and social justice for our region, so too has it served as a beacon of justice and a conduit for my own service to the community. As I look back on CAUSE's first 20 years, I've been blessed to have played a role in 19 of those. From 2002, when CAUSE led an effort to provide universal health care for children in Ventura County, which is now largely a reality both in the county and the state, I've learned and grown so much as an advocate for our communities, working people, and the most vulnerable and exploited among us. I've phone banked, knocked doors to increase funding for education, health, and social services. I've spoken out at meetings to stop polluting fossil fuel plants, and so much more because of CAUSE's leadership and training. I'm blessed to consider former and current executive directors Marcos Vargas and Marisela Morales as both mentors and friends. And I've gained even more through working with Cameron, Lucas, Hazel, Osil, and so many other former and current CAUSE staff. I know that many of you have had similar experiences of CAUSE helping you to make a positive difference in your community and beyond. I can also remember attending CAUSE community building lunches, the precursor to this CAUSE Raising Justice event, and taking a deep breath as I wrote out an annual donation of $25. I'm blessed to say that that has grown throughout the years from larger annual amounts to automatic monthly donations. And now I'm also able to be a sponsor at the progressive level. I hope you too will stretch yourself and give as much as you can to this courageous and impactful organization that has given us all so much in these last 20 years, so it can do even more in the next 20. So now I want to take this opportunity as we celebrate our 20 years of building community power with the support of our 2021 CAUSE Raising Justice sponsors. Thank you so much to the California Wellness Foundation, which provided a $20,000 donation, extremely generous. Thank you also to our social justice sponsors, the Mixteco Indígena Community Organizing Project, also known as MICOP, and Earth Justice. Thank you to our Changemaker sponsors, including Community West Bank, Service Employees International Union, SEIU, Local 2015, of which I'm a member, and the USC Equity Research Institute. Thank you to our coalition sponsors, the Oxnard Federation of Teachers and School Employees, OFTSE, Local 1273, Santa Paula Latino Town Hall, the McCune Foundation, the CLU Center for Economics of Social Issues, People's Self-Help Housing, Child Development Resources of Ventura County, with whom I work, the Nature Conservancy, and NRDC. And thank you to our many progressive, organizer, and grassroots sponsors listed on the screen and in your program. We could not do this work without your ongoing support. And over 70 of you today are individual pre-event sponsors at $100 to as much as $5,000. Thank you. At the end of today's event, you can be a part of Cause's grassroots up power building work for social justice by making your own personal contribution today. And now it's my pleasure to introduce someone near and dear to Cause, a force for good in our community, someone who's been with Cause and Pueblo since the very beginning, and a poet in his own right. Please welcome Samuel Duarte, who will be sharing a reading of his poem, Pasos del Emigrante.
Buenas tardes, gracias por acompañarnos en esta celebración de 20 años en la cual Causa ha movilizado a nuestras comunidades para hacer cambios justos y necesarios. Así es que gracias por estar aquí. Hoy les voy a leer un poema. Esta es una colaboración con mi padre Francisco Duarte y el poema se llama Pasos del Inmigrante. Cuando su viaje se corta en busca de la justicia, las voces del inmigrante nos hablan del desierto, nos hablan de los mares abiertos como guerreros en rebelión de paz, quebradores de raíces, sembradores austeros sobre los surcos grises del mundo. Escapaste de la opresión y la violencia, dejaste manos vacías, tierras estériles, semillas en vientres maduros que nacerán como tú y yo tras fronteras inventadas. Desafiantemente caminaste invisible, tus pies de hierro bajo brújulas de cera, venciendo la lumbre del sol, la sequedad de los ríos, descendiente de cuerpos inmortales llenos de arena y agua. Y algunos aquí, inmigrantes cercanos a esos ríos y de más lejos, denigran tus caminos obligados, inclinan sus rostros sin vergüenza, complacientes o temerosos, decidiendo ignorar tu grito silencioso. Pero los inmigrantes tenemos una voz. Si la calumnia nos grita, ladrones de trabajos y de bienes, responden nuestras jornadas, les grita la sangre seca de nuestros caídos, brotando de sus labios quietos, nuestros dientes blancos sobre la arena roja. Sin detenerte, traspasas la dimensión invisible en esa frontera que sin importar color o procedencia, riqueza o pobreza, todos cruzaremos un día. En este día de caravanas eternas, el inmigrante clama ante el odio que persigue. Habitantes del mundo, ni un inmigrante más humillado, ni un viajero más perdido en los desiertos o mares, ni una madre más buscando a sus hijos, ni un muerto más sobre la arena. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Gracias, Samuel, for sharing such a powerful poem written by you and your father. Cause is a living organization made up of the thousands of people that have been involved with Cause over the past 2 decades. You being here today makes you a part of Cause's story and life. We, together, have so much to celebrate, and celebrating is vital. It is part of the nourishment that we need to keep us going, because as we all know, the work of bending the arc towards justice is still at hand every day. We've tried to fit as much as we could of our collective Cause story through video to celebrate today. I know you'll see yourself throughout this video, not necessarily in person, but most definitely in heart and spirit. Please enjoy this little video compilation.
CAUSE began as two separate organizations, CAUSE of Ventura County in 2001 and Pueblo in Santa Barbara County in 2003. Both emerged during the nationwide living wage movement, collectively winning milestone victories with 5 living wage ordinances, lifting the wages of thousands of Central Coast workers. CAUSE and Pueblo both built organizations rooted in organizing working-class people of color and immigrant communities, with the intent to build people power to achieve systemic change. In 2013, the two organizations joined forces, creating a regional organization stretching from Oxnard to Santa Maria. That regional organization's vision is that, together, we can create a global community where we all contribute to and benefit from a sustainable economy that is just, prosperous, and environmentally healthy.
Today, CAUSE continues our campaigns to invest in youth of color, to expand voting rights, to fight for housing justice, advance the rights of workers and immigrants, and to ensure environmental justice for all. We do this with your support, using grassroots organizing, policy advocacy, coalition building, and leadership development to advance our mission. And throughout our work, day in and day out, CAUSE remains rooted in our communities, centering the experiences of those on the front lines of every issue we take on.
Since we successfully passed the first of 5 living wage ordinances at our beginning in 2001, we've been leading the way in creating better conditions for working people. In 2003, our grassroots leaders worked with Dolores Huerta to learn the house meeting organizing model that we still use today. In the years to come, we worked alongside our labor partners, helping unionize thousands of predominantly women of color workers, providing in-home support services in 2002. We worked to keep a Walmart superstore out of Ventura and expand health insurance to thousands of uninsured children in Ventura County. Immigrant rights has been a cornerstone issue for us since the May Day marches of 2006, and our work to stop car confiscations of immigrant drivers, end fingerprinting in Santa Maria schools, and protect Mexican consulate services from anti-immigrant attacks. We've remained a significant force for some of the most important statewide advances in immigrant rights, from winning access to driver's licenses and health care for undocumented workers, to preventing local police from working with ICE. Responding to mass evictions of families in 2008, we've continued to strengthen protections for tenants. And since then, housing justice has remained at the forefront in the struggle to ensure that housing is a human right. Organizing ordinary people and building coalitions to overcome the influence of wealthy interests and open up opportunities for quality, affordable homes for all. 2007 was a landmark year for environmental justice in our region. CAUSE organized Latinx youth and immigrant families to help defeat the proposed liquefied natural gas terminal in Oxnard. The LNG victory would serve as a case study for environmental justice in our region. It strengthened our communities to fighting for environmental justice here on the Central Coast. Working in coalition, CAUSE would go on to help defeat other reckless polluting proposals and fight for access to open space in the communities where all too often people's health continues to be sacrificed for corporations depleting our resources and polluting our air, water, and soil. By 2010, Pueblo and CAUSE had both grown their regional footprint, with Pueblo organizing in Santa Maria, and CAUSE opening Centro Mujer in South Oxnard, and expanding out to Santa Paula and into Ventura's west side. With a focus on neighborhood-level organizing, we kept key community centers open, won new bus routes, new parks, and new affordable housing in and for our communities. During this expansion, youth organizing would become a central pillar in our organizing work, and investing in youth of color would become one of our top priorities. Throughout our history, we've brought youth leaders to the table to be heard. We've won the creation of teen drop-in centers, improved school nutrition programs, and brought more funding to our local schools.
In 2012, CAUSE played a key regional role in passing Proposition 30, a turning point in California's reinvestment in education and public services and a watershed moment for CAUSE's electoral work. We grew our Get Out the Vote capacity to a bigger scale than ever before, talking over 30,000 low-propensity voters. Over the past 2 decades, CAUSE has won historic changes in redistricting, helping to end racial gerrymandering and amplify the voices of communities of color. We began with new Ventura County Supervisors Districts in 2001, then 2011 Congressional and Senate Districts, and more recently shaped the City Council Districts of Santa Maria, Oxnard, and Ventura. In 2014, we strengthened our Immigrant Rights work by forming the Central Coast Immigrant Rights Coalition and turned out thousands of residents in Santa Maria in opposition to a new ICE facility. In 2016, we launched the Farmworker Bill of Rights, informed by 600 in-person surveys of farm workers with support from over 100 community leaders, organizations, and businesses. CAUSE organized local support for the statewide effort for equal rights to overtime pay for farm workers, overturning 80 years of injustice. In 2019, after years of organizing by CAUSE, MyCop, Líderes Campesinas, and other allies, the County of Ventura launched the Farmworker Resource program, with trilingual Mixteco, Spanish, and English-speaking staff, creating a model that is spreading statewide. The devastation of the Thomas Fire and Montecito mudslides called CAUSE into action, alongside MyCop and FLA, to ensure that life-saving emergency alerts are accessible to our Spanish and Mixteco-speaking neighbors, that farm workers are better protected during toxic wildfire smoke, and that undocumented families have access to a safety net during disasters. In 2018, we won a years-long struggle to defeat the proposed Puente power plant in Oxnard. This historic decision was a turning point statewide, marking what many believe is the end of fossil fuel power plants being built in California. This struggle demonstrated the array of strategies we've developed over the years, beyond the grassroots organizing in our foundation. From advocacy at the local and state levels, to engaging with legal strategies, to elevating our community stories and informing the public. And for the first time ever in our history, we were forced to take direct action to protect the health of our community.
From the start, CAUSE has known that just as no one person makes social change alone, no one organization can do it alone. CAUSE is about growing the movement, building capacity of our Central Coast region. To that end, we have collaboratively helped seed and grow organizations like the Central Coast Climate Justice Network, VC CLUE, the Ventura County Clergy and Laity United for Economic Justice, the Social Justice Fund of Ventura County, the 805 Undocu Fund. And we've served as fiscal sponsor to emerging Black, Indigenous, and other people of color organizations, such as the Immigrant Legal Defense Center and Ulapin Chumash Foundation. Together, we are helping grow the region's social justice ecosystem, staying responsive to the demands of today while building for the future.
Even with the challenges of the pandemic, we've made some real accomplishments locally. We've scheduled hundreds of vaccine appointments for farm workers and proactively removed barriers for these workers to get the shot, such as losing paid time at work. We distributed thousands of Know Your Rights flyers about COVID paid sick time that workers could use for vaccine appointments or secondary effects. We've also filled out dozens of sick time template letters for workers who struggled to have this time honored by their employers. We didn't let up on the community organizing at the heart of our work and organized hundreds of Spanish-speaking adults as well as youth using WhatsApp, Zoom, mass texting, and social media so their voices could be heard at city, county, and state policy tables. CAUSE Youth won 3 additional mental health counselors in the Ventura Unified School District. And in Santa Barbara, we won a years-long campaign to permanently ban unjust evictions of renters and require 3 months of relocation assistance for renters at no fault of their own. In Santa Maria, we were successful in getting the Santa Barbara County Public Health Department to open up a Farmworker Hotline, which gives a direct channel of communication between workers in the department. And this year, we kicked off our rent control campaigns in Ventura and Oxnard cities, and we're growing our campaign in Santa Barbara.
Over the past year, we've remained steadfast in our organizing to stop Oxnard from becoming a diesel death zone by fighting to transition to zero-emission trucks and stop irresponsible port expansion like the Globus 34-acre project. In Santa Maria, we're fighting against bracero-style labor camp housing to ensure that farm worker housing is dignified and safe for families. In a year that will shape the next decade, we've pushed for fair representation for our communities in redistricting at every level, from school board to Congress, to ensure working-class neighborhoods, immigrant families, and people of color have a powerful political voice in the next decade and beyond. And working as a proud member of the Westside Clean Air Coalition, we helped win a temporary halt of SoCalGas's proposed compressor station expansion on the west side of Ventura.
Those of you here today know this is just a small glimpse into the struggles we faced and just a segment of the victories we've accomplished together. As we commit ourselves to the next 20 years of building community power together, Cause is grounded in our gratitude to each and every one of you for your standing right here alongside us. And whether you've been there since the very beginning or are a recent movement friend, we thank you so much for being a part of the life-giving struggle to build a more just and sustainable world for everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lucila Rajon. I'm the Associate Organizing Director at CAUSE, and I'm excited to introduce to you our 2021 Raising Justice Youth Speaker, someone who I've witnessed grow into the powerful voice for social change that they are today. Christa Gonzalez began her activism and leadership development with CAUSE as only a fifth grader. She's the daughter of Indigenous immigrant farm workers, and as a freshman now, she's been involved with the organization for the past 4 years. As a middle schooler, Christa canvassed on hundreds of doors to help bring awareness to her community about environmental racism. She's given public comment at city council meetings about renter protections. She's spoken at County Board of Supervisor meetings regarding Farmworker Rights, and she's helped train her peers. As someone who's seen Christa begin to find her political voice at such a young age, I know how important it is that we continue investing in our youth. It personally gives me hope, knowing that our future lies in the hands of this generation. Please welcome Christa Gonzalez.
Everybody, my name is Christa Gonzalez. I'm a youth leader here with CAUSE, and I'm here today to share my story as a daughter of farm workers and immigrants, and how I started my activism with CAUSE. My life as a child was never picture perfect, one of the main reasons being that I had asthma growing up. My mom always told me that they would have to rush me to the hospital because at some point I couldn't breathe properly, my face would always turn red, and my body was always at such a high temperature. My parents were farm workers, and because the medication was super expensive, they barely had enough money to get by. As I got older and time went by, my asthma calmed down, but my life was still just as difficult. I remember I had always wanted to have parents that didn't have to work on the weekend and would take me out shopping or take me to the park. I never had this opportunity to experience since my parents would always arrive late to the house because of work. My sister one day had told me that she had a meeting with an organization named CAUSE. When she had come back home later that day, she told me I should go to the next meeting because it would interest me. She had also mentioned that it would help me later on in life, and that CAUSE is an organization that fights for immigrant rights and farmworker rights, etc. And to be completely honest, I just took this as an opportunity to get out of the house and not do any chores. But then the day of the meeting had come, and I remember being so shy, nervous, and afraid to meet all these new and way older people. Take into consideration that a young fifth grader, around 11 years old, being at a meeting, not knowing what it's about, and having to give an introduction about themselves. When I met all the high schoolers at the time and saw how advanced their vocabulary was, it really put me in shock because it would make me think that I would be just like them one day. I started going to the CAUSE meetings really frequently, and while I was going frequently, something I noticed right away was that I had matured at such a faster rate than most kids in my grade. For example, one of the things I noticed was that some things kids would say that they thought was funny was actually super racist. At one point, it did bug me how kids would throw around words they didn't even know the real meaning behind it, and when I would confront them about it, they would just say things like, "Oh no, but this person allowed me to say it," or "Yeah, I said it," as a joke, and they laughed so it didn't hurt anyone. At this point, I tried my best to figure out why they would say such things like that. I just realized that I had matured at such a fast rate and couldn't do much about it. One day I remember I had went up to this person who would constantly be racist and say problematic things, and their excuses would be stuff like, "Yeah, but it didn't affect you, so why should you care?" I remember after hearing those words, I literally remember this making my blood boil, because even though I tried explaining to them why it was bad, they would still not understand. Cause impacted my life in so many different ways and also opened my eyes to many opportunities. One of the main opportunities was over the summer. Cause was having an internship where we basically get trained on how to write scripts and prepare ourselves to be organizers. I remember applying for this position and being so afraid I wouldn't get in. Spoiler alert, I did. Remembering the fact of how excited I was when reading the email saying I get to participate in the fellowship makes me smile, because I remember it was like 7, 8-ish in the night, and rushing to my mom to tell her the news and her being so happy for me. While I got to hear all the good news, I was super thrilled about the fact I was going to get trained to become a better youth leader. The few weeks of the internship really opened my eyes and educated me on important topics. Like, I remember a lesson that really stood out to me was when we were talking about the poor and how they want to add a parking lot here by Wainimi Road. It really made me think of all the people that would be affected by it and how they would be breathing all that polluted air, because all they would see would be diesel trucks coming in. It hurts seeing my community put into danger only because these corporations want to make more money. As Cause helped me out a lot, I feel as if I've helped my peers in educating them and also helping them out when they needed it. I've made many huge differences here with Cause, and I'm glad I joined the organization, and I'm proud to be part of this community. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us and listen to my story. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.
Wow. Hey, everyone. Lucas Zucker here, Policy Director at Cause. It has just been so incredible seeing Christa grow up. I remember meeting her at Centro Mujer in Oxnard when she was definitely one of our youngest youth leaders ever, and now speaking at our 20-year anniversary event. Just beautiful to see. So thank you so much for being with us during this extra special Raising Justice. It is amazing to think about what a different place this whole region was politically when Cause was first founded in 2001. So many of the different issues that matter to our community, whether that's immigrant rights, workers' rights, housing, environmental justice, those changes that we've made possible, the countless people who now have health care or a living wage to support their families, or a new bus route or park in their neighborhood, who have a better funded school or cleaner air or more rights as an immigrant. Those changes in the lives of tens, hundreds of thousands of people in our region were possible because of supporters like you. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for that. What's even more exciting to me, though, is thinking about where we'll be 20 years from now. What's possible in 2041? What's possible for our children, for the next generation? We decide what's possible in the future through our actions today, through our commitment to organizing, our advocacy, our movement building, and as we emerge from the depths of this pandemic into the not so normal future. The path ahead of us is unclear. All I know is that we need our movement organizations more now than ever. So I'm asking you to think, what do I normally give? How do I normally support this movement? And what more can I do on this special year, this special 20-year anniversary, this pivotal time in our nation, in our world, in our local region? How will I help lay the foundation for the next 20 years in the future? please give whatever you can today. Contributions of all sizes really do make a difference and keep us doing this work. So you can make a donation online. It's super easy at causenow.org/donate. That's causenow.org/donate. So thank you so much to so many of you who are longtime donors for many years, who have already given as pre-event sponsors. So all of you, whether you're giving today or you've already contributed, please share with us in the chat why you donate to Cause. What is it that's inspired you in this moment, and why are you part of this? So while you're getting the website pulled up and filling out your info, I did want to share one special perk we have this year, because it's our 20-year anniversary, for our top 3 donors Raising Justice this year. Cause was actually part of a new book that was just released last month. It's an anthology on different social and economic justice organizations across the country. It's called Igniting Justice and Progressive Power. You can look it up. There's a whole chapter on the history of Cause and Pueblo, written by yours truly, Cause's resident history nerd. And this book, believe it or not, has a sticker price of $150 if you order it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, if you don't like ordering from Amazon. And we are going to give it away for free to our top 3 donors for this 20-year anniversary. So that's a little extra motivation. Try being those top 3. You can get a free book. So we can't thank you enough for being part of this community for the last 20 years. And I can't wait for everything we're going to do together in the next 20 years. So thank you, everyone. And I'll pass it back to Maricela to close us out.
Thank you, Lucas. Gracias, everyone. This brings us to the conclusion of this year's 2021 Cause Raising Justice event, celebrating 20 years of building community power. Thank you to all of you who joined us virtually. We know it's not the same as being in person and connecting in person. We look forward to doing that next year, 2022. And we look forward to seeing you in the coming months, right? And continuing to do this work together. Today is about fundraising. As a nonprofit organization, we have to, fundraise. And as a donor, I hope you see yourself as an important part of Cause's work. Your $5, $20, $100, no amount too small or too large, makes a really, really big difference. Because as a donor, it's not just about whatever the amount is, it's about the spirit. It's about the corazón that comes with it. And that means a lot to us. It energizes us here in the day in and day out work. I want to give you a heads up about the work that we're doing on the ground, because apart from supporting Cause as a donor, let's show up together. So we have 3 really solid campaigns, Grassroots Up, our youth, our immigrant adults, fighting for rent control, in the cities of Oxnard, Santa Barbara, and Ventura. We're in a housing crisis nationwide, especially in California, especially here on the Central Coast. People being evicted, rents just too damn high. And so we urge you to be with us, to support our grassroots leaders in these tremendous campaigns. Let's get rent control done in the city of Oxnard, Santa Barbara, Ventura, and beyond. Redistricting. You heard it mentioned in our video. We've been doing redistricting since day one in 2001. So by December 15th, we'll have new maps for Assembly, Senate, congressional districts, and into the new year at the city and school district level. So, speak up on those districts, the county level as well. We can get, for the first time ever, 2 Latinx majority people of color districts at the county of Ventura and 1 in the county of Santa Barbara. So join us. Next year, I want to give you a heads up. We're doing our strategic plan. And at Cause, we want to hear your voice. What is the future of Cause for the next 3 to 5 years? So feel free to reach out to me, to any of the Cause organizers, policy advocates, Cause staff, and let us know. What do you see for our Cause work in the next 3 to 5 years. We want to hear from you in terms of our strategic plan. So those are just a few of the things that are in the works right now and that we welcome you to be a part of, along with joining us as a cause donor today. So thank you very much. With that, we close it up. Si se puede. Yes, we can. Adelante. Let's do this. Thank you.